It felt completely fine and lovely to see the casket for the first time. I'm not weird about caskets and death.
It did occur to me, this would be an amazing way to just be a serial killer. There's a liquidating business right next door to where we are.
Yeah.
And I was like, is he gonna kill me and then liquidate me? And this was all a ruse.
I was excited to lie down. I'm always excited to lie down.
Hello, and welcome to Grave Conversations, the only show where your favorite celebrities get to lie down. I'm your host, David Dastmalchian. Today's guest is someone we hope lives for a very, very long time. She's a writer, she's a host, she's an advocate. You know her from her breakout role as Tahani in The Good Place. She's also the host of this incredible new podcast that I love, Wrong Turns. Please welcome the brilliant Jameela Jamil.
Hello.
Hi, how you feeling?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm really grateful. We're gonna get down to business. Are you ready to answer some questions that hit so hard that they would make Walter Cronkite blush?
Yeah, bruise me.
Great, okay. The first segment is called Questions You Need to Answer Before You Die, or as the kids call it, quintabid. If you could ban one snack food with the intention of causing chaos, which one would you choose and why?
I think potato chips. I think if we took away potato chips, the world would end. I think they've been upholding society for decades, and I think they've gone unsung as the hero that they are. I'd fucking kill someone.
Do you know what I heard? That potato chips are good for your voice. As actors, I've never, and I was at a rock concert recently, and Billy Corgan was on stage, and he kept eating potato chips, and someone said, "Oh, it's because they're good for your voice."
I think he's got an enemy who told him that, who doesn't want him to sing very well.
He just likes potato chips.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think it's like when, billionaires go on podcasts and they say that they wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and then they get in an ice bath and they only sleep 3 hours. I think they're lying and they're saying that so that other billionaires, the competition doesn't sleep. And actually they're getting a good rest, like some much needed shut-eye.
Some of them say they just keep busy taking over governments. What do you think is going on with people who jog in jeans?
Cunts.
We leave that in, please, okay? What's your opinion on people who name their cars?
Single.
When you see a lava lamp, Jameela, how do you feel?
Like I'm gonna come. No, I'm joking. Sorry. I like them. I find them intriguing. They feel very nostalgic to me because English people have been watching American coming of age movies forever.
Yeah.
And they're huge in England, and everything we understand of America is through the lens of that. And so whenever I see a lava lamp, I picture those coming of age movies.
Here's a question I feel like everybody's being asked these days. I keep seeing it on every red carpet, but we wanted your thoughts. If Pedro Pascal ran up to you in the street, frantic, covered in blood, and said he needed to borrow $10,000, what would you do?
It's my favorite thing when wealthy celebrities start a GoFundMe on Instagram. It's my favorite thing. Who was the celebrity who recently had her, I think it was her hairstylist had cancer, and she's a billionaire. This woman's a billionaire and her hairstylist had cancer, and she started her, and she just forwarded her GoFundMe on Instagram, and it's like, you could just pay that bill with no harm to yourself whatsoever. It's a drop in your ocean. So that's what I'd do. I'd ask the public for the money rather than give it myself.
I think I would, if it was him, because I am deeply in love with him, I would probably, I've never met the man, but I mean deeply in love in the more real sense, like true love. I would find a way to wire the money, and then I'd ask if I could get a selfie and maybe a cheek kiss.
Oh.
Or more. So you're, let's say, booking a podcast. What fictional character would you most want to have to start a podcast with you?
Oh, fuck me.
I was going to say Mr. Bean, but then I realized he doesn't speak. That would be a terrible podcast.
No, that's exactly who I would want.
There we go. All right.
And I would want Mr. Bean or the dog from The Artist. That's who I want to spend my time with, on or off camera.
What is the hardest part for you about being someone that's become famous now, being a public figure? What's hard about it for you?
Just all the money and the free stuff. Fucking fucking nightmare.
Take
Just
it.
all the opportunity.
But you're very unabashedly like open about stuff. I try to be as well. Have you ever like made yourself so vulnerable maybe about a certain subject or a certain thing and then all of a sudden you regretted it or you felt scared afterwards, or is that just part of the process for you?
Well, yeah. One time I said that having an abortion was the best decision I ever made, and then people got so mad at me and they felt like it was very flippantly said. So then I thought about it and I reflected on it. I took it back and I said, actually, it wasn't the best decision I ever made. Cutting bangs was the best decision I ever made, and then my second best decision was my abortion. Does that count?
It absolutely does.
Okay,
That's
great.
a great. I've never done the bangs thing, but yeah, when I
Had an abortion?
When I was a teen, I didn't, but I was partner to someone who we had to terminate a pregnancy when I was in high school, and I wouldn't be laying here right now. I wouldn't have the life that I have right now if that hadn't happened.
Yeah.
So I am grateful that at that time we had the freedom to be able to do that. At this time in history, I think in the state in which it took place, that would be a very tricky thing to pull off. It's kind of fucked up.
Okay, well, you being really sincere now is
Being
really
totally
fucking
serious.
up my shit.
It's all the things, Jameela. It's serious, it's funny, it's everything. That's what I love
Totally.
about you.
Yeah.
Going back and forth between what's funny and what is dark. The Good Place, I loved that show so much. Tackled some really
Thank
complex
you.
ethical questions like the nature of good and bad. Was there like a specific philosophical concept or idea from the show that when you were working on it really challenged or changed the way you think about morality in life?
I think The Good Place is such an important show, and I think it's a show that people watch again and again and again because it's hopeful, it's inherently hopeful. It's about people putting all their differences aside and working together based on what they have in common, which I think is what is so fucked about the world at the moment, is that we think we have so many differences, we hyper-focus on our differences, and actually so many of us really fundamentally, even if our political ideologies are different, ultimately want the same things, which is like happiness, health, safety, for those that we love. We want access to municipal facilities, etc. And I love the fact that the core of the show is being able to put those differences aside to work together towards progress, but also that people can change. We don't believe people can change anymore. We've decided to like tattoo people. We have these, when I grew up, we had identity and opinion, and they were two separate things. And your opinion was considered very transient, and your identity was still transient, but much less so. But now your opinion is considered like a tattoo that identifies exactly who you are forever, and there's no space for growth. And The Good Place like documents the growth of all these people, and it shows context as to how those people arrived at who they were, which again is something that we are averse to now. We don't have context and nuance, and that pisses me off. And so I really love The Good Place, and I'm happy that people of all ages watch it again and again and again, because I think we need that messaging, and that's why I wrote and directed that show completely by myself.
I think he's such a lovely interviewer who's so skilled at going from serious to silly very seamlessly. And while I was lying there, I was like, oh, fuck this guy for coming up with such a good idea.
I think death and dying is a conversation that should be more normalized, and I'm grateful that people like yourself are willing to come on and do it. So are you ready to talk a little bit about end of life and death?
Yes.
It's time for a segment that we call Death Wish. How would you like to die?
There's a film called Le Grand Bouffe, which is a French movie where these wealthy men get together and they've all decided to kind of have a suicide pact, and they hire like sex workers and great chefs and entertainment, and they gorge on the most amazing, extravagant food and essentially eat themselves to death. And there's one man, I believe, who has eaten so much that he farts himself off a balcony, and that's how he dies. And I really see that for myself.
That's beautiful. That's
Thank you.
beautiful. Yeah. Have you ever done any funeral planning for yourself?
Like if I did die, I want my casket carried out to I Got Bitches by A2M. It goes like, I got bitches all on my dick and every day, sucking on my balls, licking on my balls. Bitches, they know, stick it in that booty hole. It's my favorite song.
How often do you think about death, dying, stuff like that?
All the time.
Yeah, me too.
Constantly.
I don't think about other people's deaths, but I do think about my own very
I
often.
think about other people's death.
You do?
Yeah. I overreact.
Okay. Well, I
Yeah.
hope
I
this
come from
interview
this
is going
tribe,
well.
right? I come from this tribe in the mountains. We're called Pathans, and like one of the stereotypes about us is known that we live for revenge, which I
love
think is
that.
so cool. I think about my death, everyone's death. Sometimes I think we should all go. Humanity should just wipe and start again. I don't know why anyone would want to preserve this shit.
I felt that way about myself. I felt that way about the world.
I just drove past like tanks.
I know.
Like military tanks, you know, that are here to take children away from their parents. I'm like, let's go. Let's fucking rap. Let's go. I'm done.
I know.
I just want to have one more like banana pancake and then I'm ready to go.
It is quite a challenge to persist and resist sometimes, isn't it?
When I was talking to a producer backstage, we were talking about the fact that he was like, do you feel comfortable talking about death? And I was telling him about the fact that I've only recently stopped being suicidal.
I think we should talk about that.
And how it's ruined my life.
Oh, God, Jameela. Stopping talking about suicidal?
No longer feeling suicidal.
No longer feeling suicidal has ruined your life.
Yes.
Can you explain, please?
Yeah. I've been suicidal since I was a child. I've had suicidal ideation. It's something I've struggled with my whole life. And it's been this sort of, you know, I had a parent who used to try to commit suicide all the time in front of me. And so it was very normal to me. It was like a very chill thing that I was like, when things get really hard, you just bounce. And that seems pretty great. And so I spent my whole life thinking, well, this doesn't work out, I'll just kill myself. And actually, that was kind of great. And it explained why my career's been so bold and why I never get really like rattled by anything, because I'm always like, well, I'll only be here till Friday. So it's quite dark, but also was quite liberating to all my life have that like kind of get out clause. And then I've just grown to really fucking love my fucking boyfriend. What a cunt. And my 2 perfect dogs, cunts. You know, I love them so much. And in the last few months, I've been very, very sick and have come very close to death 4 times. And that's been terrifying when it's happened because it's not on my timeline. You know, it's not when I plan to go.
Wow.
It just kind of grabbed me at like 8 o'clock in the morning when I haven't even had a fucking coffee yet. And then I'm just dying. And then that has made me go, oh shit, in those moments where I can feel my like heart is giving up on me. I've been thinking about this fucking guy and these fucking dogs and my fucking friends, and then being like, oh no, I didn't get a chance to say goodbye. Because in my suicidal ideation world, I'll get to say goodbye. But now life keeps being almost taken from me when I least expect it. And now I want to live for the first time ever. And now I'm having panic attacks because now I understand anxiety. I've never really understood anxiety fully because I'm like, you could just kill yourself. It's not a big deal. And it's like, you don't have to be here for all this. And now I want to be here. I'm like, fuck, I'm stuck here now. So everything when it gets hard, I understand what it's like to actually bear down and imagine dealing with it. And it feels terrible. And I can't believe people have been feeling this way all their lives. And now I want to get the suicide ideation back. And I know that sounds flippant and wrong, but I was happier.
You're stuck with us.
Fuck.
You're stuck with us.
I don't want it.
We're keeping you around.
No.
We're so lucky we get to keep you around. I love this world with you in it.
Is what I said really dangerous to say?
It's not really dangerous because here's the thing. What's dangerous is not saying it. What's dangerous is letting people live out there in the world, walking around like so many of us do on a daily basis, going, I'm the only motherfucker that sits here thinking about how to go for a walk and make it look like an accident that I fell so that my poor family doesn't have to think that I did this on purpose. I'm the only motherfucker walking around thinking, my God, if I just didn't have to wake up tomorrow, I wouldn't have to feel the way that I feel right now.
Yes.
And that fact that you just talked about that and the fact that someone out there is watching that, it's not pushing them closer to doing the act. What it's pushing them closer to doing is feeling less alone in the world.
All these wonderful things happened in my life because I did stick around. And I do want to remind people of that, is that the moment passes, right? Suicide, that suicide is like often, it's an especially bad week, day, hour, minute, you know, where you feel tipped over the edge. And I'm so glad I've stuck around, and I've experienced so many wonderful and some terrible, but things for having stuck around here. And I'm glad I stayed. And now I actively want to stay, which is so annoying.
There are wonderful free resources out there on the internet right now. You can go and Google SAMHSA, S-A-M-S-H-A. It is a hub of resources that will lead you to somebody that you can talk to. And Jameela, thank you for sharing that.
And you can also listen to my podcast, Wrong Turns, which will cheer you up if you're feeling down.
You just fucking plugged your fucking podcast. I love that. The best thing.
I'm going to hell.
Okay. Do you know if you...
My therapist kicked me out of a session.
Of course they did. Of course they did.
So awful to try and have a proper conversation with.
Jameela, thank you so much for being so open with us today. Please brace yourself. We have a hard pivot coming at you.
Okay.
This is the opposite direction of Death Talk. It's a segment that we like to call Living for This. What are you working on right now, personally or professionally, that makes you feel alive?
I'm working on a new podcast called Wrong Turns.
I've heard of it.
It's great. You were a fabulous guest, and your episode is coming out very soon.
Thank you.
And it's a comedy disaster podcast that celebrates the most humiliating moments of our lives, and doesn't force us to put a bow on it. You know, I think I'm just done with all the toxic positivity and forcing everyone to think that everything happens for a reason and there's a silver lining to everything. And I don't want to have another silver lining shoved up my asshole on the fucking internet. I just want to sometimes accept that when life gives us lemons, we don't all make lemonade. Okay, some of us don't know how to make lemonade. Some of us just shit our pants and we should be left alone. I shit myself in Santa Monica Boulevard in the middle of a day. I shit all over the road. And nothing good came from that, you know?
Shitting yourself on Santa Monica
I didn't
Boulevard.
learn anything from that. And, you know, and I shit like up myself and down myself, which I didn't know was possible. I know it was the worst. And then there was this lettuce in the street, because Santa Monica.
To wipe
so of
with?
Course there's a lettuce. So I was like, oh, I'm going to use that as toilet roll. And it's not porous at all. So it just just spread it everywhere. And then I needed to pee, and I was like, fuck it. Just like, I've already shit myself. So then I'm crying, laughing, and shitting. It's like hiding between two cars on the sidewalk. And no one's helping me because Americans are horrible. They won't help you. They were just like, another unhoused person that we're going to just leave to die an undignified death. And no one would help me, and people were running away from me and like crossing the road with their children. And then I finally made the insane decision to take off all my clothes, which is a felony, I think, in this country. And I put my room key, my hotel room key, and my credit card in between my teeth. And I ran home just wearing my bra, pussy out, covered in my own shit, at 5 p.m. But I didn't learn anything, and then someone had to go and clean that up the next day. Like, nothing good came from that.
Did they learn something?
Hopefully to try and find another job.
Get another job, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
every time I passed that church, it was outside a church, by the way, I cross myself, even though I'm not religious, and I say sorry to that cleaner.
I've never seen anything like it. I've never done anything like it. So I felt very grateful to be a part of it and extremely worried about what's going to happen when it airs, because I just let in all my intrusive thoughts win.
Thanks for being here with me. Before we bury this interview, I do have one final thing I wanted to ask you to do for us, please.
Oh, yeah.
This is like you're going to your own funeral. You are the one presiding over your own funeral. You're standing over your own casket. You're talking to all your friends, family, loved ones, business associates, people you don't know how the fuck they got the invite. And you're going to give your own eulogy. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so when I say die,
Okay.
I'm going to give you 60 seconds. It's a tight 1 minute to give yourself your own.
Do I have to talk about myself in the third person?
Absolutely. So I want it to be a tearjerker. I don't want you to leave a dry eye in the house. I want it to be funny, but it can't be pretentious. This is probably the most important speech that you're ever going to give in your entire life, and I don't want you to overthink it. 3, 2, 1, die.
Jameela Jamil, who was murdered, just wanted everyone to know she was sorry. Jameela Jamil is, Jameela Jamil was sorry.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
She never mastered reverse cowgirl. And she blamed it on her car accident that she had when she was 17. But actually she recovered fully from that by her early 20s. And that's not why she couldn't do it. She just found it uncomfortable on her thighs because she's clinically weak. Now I'm done.
That was absolutely incredible. Thank you for sharing it with me today, Jameela. Okay, we're going to talk soon.
Thanks
Bye.
for having me. I have such a desperate urge to just go like... Someone call the police and get me out of it.